welcome to LipRoll. So Ella, you want to take this away? We're going to do a little segment here, a Q&A for Lesley-Ann, right?
Yeah.
We've got some
We
fan
have
questions.
some fan questions. We used to do question of the day with Valerie, and we still do, and we kind of put her on the spot. And then we found that we had a lot of fans who had questions, and of course we have a few. So we have Rose from California asks, throughout the show, what do you think is the hardest thing your character Maze faces in building her mortal self?
Knowing when not to use a knife. And by that I mean probably I think she's very childlike and knee-jerk reaction, to situations that can maybe use diplomacy at times. So figuring out when to access her demon side versus using the tools she's acquired on Earth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good answer.
Good
Good answer.
It's like, send them to hell.
Exactly. Oh, I have a list, honey. Don't you worry. I have a list.
I'm loving it.
I don't want to be on Lesley-Ann's list anymore.
I know, it's like, can we be off the list?
Can I be off that list?
How do we stay off the list? I'm scared right now.
So what do we have?
What
Another
else?
good
So
one?
we have another good one. This is Mitch from New York. Did you get a choice in choosing the song Wonderwall?
I did. It was my idea, yeah. So they originally had Elvis Presley's I Can't Help Falling in Love with You. Yeah, and I sort of felt like, for me, I was like, it's really on the nose, and I feel like it's a very masculine song too, and I felt like because it was love between two women, I wanted something that was a little bit ambiguous, and Wonderwall means, different things to different people, as I've discovered after the song. People, a lot of the comments were like, wow, I never thought of it like that in a love song kind of way.
Right.
So that was kind of important to me. I was just happy that they were open to that. Yeah.
I loved it. Oasis. Love it.
It was just so special. I mean, in the scene, and it just like the moment and everything. I mean, your voice and
it all came together. The costume, the lighting,
It was
the
gorgeous.
makeup,
Yeah,
I pulled on Marlene Dietrich for the suit. I was like, I want some masculinity in here, with the vulnerability of the voice.
Yeah.
So, it was fun.
It was
a lot of
really
fun.
special, really special moment. Okay, and we actually have a voice memo here from one of your fans, so hopefully you can hear it from here. So here we go.
Hi guys, my name is Janai and I'm a listener from Colorado. I just wanted to ask Leslie if she got any say in picking the song she sings Eve, or did the creators just give you the song? If you did get a say, what was your process for finding a song for such a monumental moment? Thanks guys, love the podcast and can't wait to hear what else you have in store. And I can't wait for the final season of Lucifer.
I love it. Well, we just
I
answered it,
didn't realize
didn't
we
we?
had a double there. That's so funny.
but it's I got to choose it.
Yeah.
Thank you for your question. And like I said, I just wanted something that was different and unexpected for her in that moment, because I think it's such an unexpected moment for the character as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then the music, that the way they laid the piano, because it's a different sound with the piano, I feel too.
Yeah, it kind
versus
of
the
took a
original
whole
for sure.
different- Yeah, I think that was one of the things I noticed in a lot of the fan comments, was saying that you literally made it your own.
Yeah.
It was your own song.
Yeah. Well, as much as I could. I mean, I had a lot of help, so.
Aww.
Yeah, I never had gone into a studio with cans on and heard that. It was my first time.
It's
intimidating.
It's very terrifying, and we were talking about that earlier, just to touch on that and wrap up. But you're in good company. I mean, all my actors, they're terrified the first time they have to get cans on. I just wrapped a movie that I can't talk about.
She loves saying that.
It's going to be amazing. I'm very excited by it. But and we had 7 songs to record, and my leading actress had never had cans on before, and we had 7 songs to get through, and it was terrifying. And we brought the whiskey out. We did all of that, but it's daunting.
Yeah. And then when I was in it too, when I left, I was like, wow. And then you have people who then layer and harmonize over that, who do their own backing vocals. I'm like, this is a whole new artistic world that, you know, I want to learn more about.
It's your future. It's your calling. I think the more, like I said, the more you work on that craft, the more those doors fly open and those opportunities fly open for you to sing, because you do have really, really good instincts. You know, that's half the battle. We can train the rest, you know. So I was so excited that you did that on the show. Yes.
And we have another question from Juno Tune. What's it like to play a demon? And I know you kind of went into this in the interview.
So it's I don't know what a demon is. I mean, I don't torture people for, well, maybe I do. Ask my husband.
Wait, it depends on who you ask.
But like I said, my approach is with a lot of humanity, a lot of humility. I just try and I don't try not to judge her, even in the moments where maybe to the outside she's being unreasonable. I try not to judge her. I think she's like an onion. She has lots of layers. This character, and it's similar to me in a way. It's like there's the people who are the closest to me, like there's a peeling back of, like, you know, a lot of walls that have been put up from life, you know, necessarily. And in this business too, it's like, who do you trust? Who's like who's you know, on your side or rooting for you? So I've been very protective of my tribe, of who I hold near and dear, and similar to Maze in that way.
I love that, because one thing that we didn't get to talk about that I'll ask you just sort of as we wrap up here, we have a lot of those conversations on LipRoll with a lot of the artists that have been on so far, where they talk about the hardships of being an artist and a musician, and it's not as easy as it looks. It's very, very difficult. It's a lot of work. It's not incredibly glamorous.
It's a lot of sacrifice.
It's a lot of sacrifice. People don't realize. And so there's a lot that goes into spiritual health, physical health, mental health. I know all of them are important, but which one of those, because as I'm listening to you, it sounds like your spirituality is very important to you.
Absolutely. Good energy. I'm like you. I'm an energy person, and I've had to sort of hold certain people at a distance for, not because they're bad people, but they're vampires. They're energy vampires, and
they're not awake.
They're not awake.
So you realize you have to work with them, but you keep them at a nice, comfortable distance.
Absolutely.
And then you have, like you said, your core people
Absolutely.
that you turn to.
Yeah, because I think too, there's something to be said about people who can be there for you when you're down, but also celebrate you when you're not. You know,
100%.
Sometimes I find in this business it can be hard for people because there's so much at stake for everyone who's in the industry.
Right,
you know, like people want the next job, people want more money, they want, you know, the best dress list, whatever those things are. For me, I'm very much a girl from Cape Town, South Africa, so it's family first and foremost.
Right.
Especially since having my son, it's just my priorities change.
It changes everything.
Yeah, but at the same time, I also know that I'm a better mother for continuing to do this thing that I love to do.
Yes.
And I'm passionate about it, but I've had to learn how to say, I'm sorry, I'm not available. I can't pick you up from the airport. I'm, you know, I can't make that dinner. I don't want to go to that party. I'm so exhausted. My child was up at like 5:30, or, you know, he's potty training.
Yeah, it's real. It's real.
They
get you out of a lot of things, but again, it's really prioritizing, and we talk about this a lot of who you are and what is important to you and what is not important to you.
I love that because it's my quiet time. It's like the one time my head is quiet.
Yes.
I am constantly thinking like this, that, I have to email this, I'm dealing with this, you know, like I'm traveling to Pittsburgh.
It's that moment where you take for you. Yeah. And it's not about
and
the
singing
class.
is cathartic for me. In the car, that's my place. That's my, where I'm like, I have once, this is a funny story, pulled up to like an Ellen DeGeneres was in her car next to me, and I was singing my little ass off, and she's like, what are you singing? And I'm like, I don't know, I don't know the name, but it's this song. And she's like, it sounds good. She probably doesn't. Yeah, she probably doesn't remember.
She's a huge music lover.
Yes,
and she loves to discover new talent.
But I get in there, I have the head going, and they're like, go, yes, girl.
That's
I'm
what I'm
Mariah
talking
Carey
about.
all the way in my car. I think I sound like
you
do.
do. Definitely.
Now we're gonna have to work on some Mariah when you come back in. But
my Lord.
I love interviewing my my clients because I find out so much more about who you are. I found out that you and I are actually probably the same person in many ways, which is kind of crazy and cool. But we have absolutely loved having you today, Lesley-Ann. Thank you for joining us on the show, and I'm sure our LipRoll fans are going to be very excited to hear this.
I'm excited.
I'm excited.
Yeah. Take care.
Okay, take care.